I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of introduce everybody to what Oasis is. What do we do? If you have questions, please message them to me. I'm gonna be answering questions at the end. So in the chat box, please shoot any question you may have as I go through and discuss what we are and what we do and how you could be a part of this movement that we have going on, this ownership movement. So please utilize that chat, and towards the end, I'll be answering questions. But I'm gonna run through this. I really don't need a lot of time. This is not a lecture or a sermon or anything. This is straight information about a business, which we're excited to introduce to you all. Some of you have been on meetings. We haven't done one in a few months because we've been just working internally, building out as we get ready to launch for the public. So who we are Oasis Investment Group. That's the name of us, Oasis. And we are a real estate group. We purchase real estate. We have the majority of our portfolio in Chicago, Illinois. That's is for many reasons, and I'll discuss that later. That's where we have chosen to build our portfolio because Chicago, Illinois is just a great investment area, especially South Chicago. So we buy properties, we renovate them. We partner with Genesis Construction Training Center, who is great, one of the best training centers in the country, and I'll discuss why we partner with them. But we partner with them and renovate homes and put tenants from our communities in these homes. And that is what we do. It's been a great experience because I didn't go to college for real estate, or for business. I really went for production. So getting into the whole real estate world, our team, it's been just a great experience, learning experience, because we always wanted to get into real estate. And since getting into it, it's been a great journey. So excuse me as I admit people in. So that is what we do. We purchase real estate, renovate it, and put tenants in it. We make income from the renovation process, the appreciation of the home, and from tenants. Now, we do this for several reasons. We specialize in, I guess we can say, underserved communities, which is another word for saying ghetto or black or the hood, but the proper term is underserved. That's what we specialize in. We specialize in underserved communities for many reasons. One reason is it's a lot of money in our communities. That's the business reason. It's a lot of opportunity and a lot of money because most of the people in our communities don't have the money to actually fix it up themselves. Foreigners, I like to call it, or however you like to call it, people who don't live in our communities are the ones buying it up, and more often than not, they become slumlords. And the people who are living in these communities don't have a decent place to live, and it's treated like it's the slums. So that's the area we like to focus on because we buy it, we renovate it, that beautifies our communities. And when we lease it out and rent out the properties, we rent it back out to people from our communities. And that's one of the ways to fight gentrification. It's really simple. It's pretty much buying our community and putting our community in it and beautifying our community. So that's what we do. We specialize in our communities. We don't go to Beverly Hills. We don't go to the nice areas and try to buy big properties. We look for vacant properties. And in Chicago alone, which is why we chose Chicago, there's tens of thousands of vacant properties right now. Tens of thousands. Vacant properties, poorly managed properties. And these are the buildings that we buy. And we renovate them. The reason why we like vacant and poorly managed properties is because we renovate them. And by renovating them, we are providing jobs. That was another mission of ours. It's like, it's okay to make money, and it's okay to beautify a city, but if there's no jobs in that city, that starts a cycle of crime when there's no jobs. There was an article that President Biden had referenced where it said summer jobs in Chicago lowered the crime rate. So there's no mistake that if we had proper jobs, more jobs, crime will go down. And our people need jobs. So we could vote legislation and complain and what do you call it? I can't even think of the word. Protest. Yeah, I don't pro. We could do all that, but at the end of the day, if we owned our community, we can provide for everything that we're asking for. Which brings me to my next point. So that's who we are. We are a real estate group. So what we're doing is we're opening a fund. We seen like, hey, this is working. We purchased our team. You see me, I speak. I'm the face by default. But at the end of the day, it's a great team that we have that has tons of experience and who are brilliant. And we were able to, start off with one investment of $40,000 and grow it to an 8-figure real estate portfolio in a matter of 3 years. And that's from just, one, sacrifice, just investing. But our business plan is straightforward. And it's invest, fix the property up, put our tenants in there, and we generate income from tenants. And we hold appreciation, and we own our community. We don't own the whole block, but with everyone's help, we can. That's the purpose of this. So we're opening a fund. Now, a fund is, let me pretty much explain what that is. A fund is pretty much collection of money or the raising of capital to invest and buy real estate. That's what a real estate fund is. So you're able to open up investment for people to put money in, and with this big pot, you can start buying property. Now, real estate funds are generally structured where the fund managers don't get paid until investors get paid. And that's how we set it up. That's the beautiful part for the investor. We could do all the work, but if we're not making, if you don't get paid, we don't get paid. So we have an incentive to work hard to make sure we get the right investments, the right properties, the right deals to ensure that you all get your money. And then if you get your money with, our goal of a preferred return, then we get what's left over, and that's our bonus. So that's how a real estate investment fund works. Now, this is not something that we made up. I didn't make this up. Our team didn't make this up. This has been going on for I don't know how many years, but since the Security Exchange Commission was set up in the early 1900s, people have been able to invest in funds. However, typically, you had to be what is called an accredited investor. You had to be a millionaire to invest in these kind of funds. But thanks to Obama, he passed a Jobs Act in 2013, I believe. You got to check it out. Or 2012. Thank you, sir. He passed the Jobs Act, and he added a clause to it in 2015 that allows non-accredited investors to invest in funds. Now that's big. That's how people have been building wealth, is investment. And investing is something I wasn't taught in school. I went to a pretty good university, and I wasn't taught investing. I was taught communication, and I was taught all these things. I was taught how to get a good job and how to have a great resume, but I was never taught investing, something we had to learn on our own. But communities have been getting ahead because, for example, if you have $100,000 in your bank account and you invest instead of spend that $100,000 and you get a 10% yearly return, then you're making $10,000 a year. That's your vacation money. That could be your shopping money, and your original money doesn't get touched. Now imagine that's $1 million, and you got $100,000 a year just to live off of. This is how the wealthy stay wealthy. So they take their money and they invest it. Now we, as average citizens, we have our money in banks. That's also investing. You're an investor. If your money's in the bank, you're an investor. You're just investing in Chase. You're investing in Bank of America. You're investing in somewhere that's giving you 0.1% return where you really don't even know you're investing. A lot of us who have money in the banks don't even calculate that, oh, I'm investing. You think they're just holding your money, which they're not. They're taking it, they're investing it, they're making money, and then they're giving you little to nothing. So there's been plenty of companies that have been investment companies. However, our community has been left out of that conversation because we just were never taught. And on top of that, most of us aren't millionaires. And that's what excited us about this. When we found out about Obama passing the Jobs Act and us being able to open a fund, we looked at it as a huge opportunity. Now, our communities are usually taken advantage of. And this is something that, we take very serious. There's a lot of scammers that target our communities. There's a lot of talkers. There's a lot of people who just want money. So before we opened this fund, we wanted to make sure that we can deliver on what we say we can deliver, which is why we took 3 years to build out our business plan. We took years to figure out if someone invests, how can we get them a return? And through trial and error, and we were blessed because we didn't have to create a formula. It's already out there. It's just knowing the right formula, knowing the right area, which was for us, Chicago, Illinois, knowing our customers, which is for us, our communities. We were able to give great returns to the people who we took on investment from, and we took 0 losses. And we said, you know what, this is a formula that we can just scale. So what we did, our team filed with the Security Exchange Commission to be able to open a fund, because you can't just go to LegalZoom and open a fund. That's not how it works. You have to file with the Security Exchange Commission. You got to pay a lot of money. You have to have lawyers. You have to have an audit. You have to have a background check. And we did all that. We wanted to do that because we know we are going to have to earn a lot of our people's trust. Now, some of you may see the vision off top and say, you know what, I'm investing. And we appreciate that. But we're in this for the long haul. We know a lot of people want to invest until the first round, get their dividends and get their returns. And we know that. But we are thankful for everyone who sees us, sees the vision, and believes in giving us the opportunity to earn a return on their investment. So that's who we're reaching out. This is the first. You all will be a part of our first fund. Others will catch on later. They'll see it once you start getting checks back. Then we'll probably get overflooded with millions of people wanting to invest. But as of right now, we're in this for the long haul. We know we have to prove ourselves. We know we have to show that we're not just talking. And we're doing this because we've done it before, and we know we can. So we're confident. So I hope everyone understands that, who we are. We're an investment company. We're a real estate company. We're opening an investment fund that will allow you all to invest money. And with that money, we take it, along with our money, we buy properties in our communities. We beautify our communities. And we take that money, and with that money, you get your profit. You get your return. It's the beautiful thing about it. A lot of us want to get into real estate. A lot of you want to get into real estate, but you may not have the resources or time. It's a lot. When we took this on, I didn't know how much time it would take, but it takes a lot of time to the point where, this is what I have to do full time. At first, we were doing this as just another means of just getting into real estate. But as we grown and grown, it's something I have to do full time. From managing tenants. And our people aren't the easiest people to manage. They're beautiful, and we love them, and we don't want to go nowhere else, but we're not the easiest. I don't know who the easiest is. I'll just say we're not easy. But dealing with our people, dealing with the maintenance, dealing with the construction, dealing with the business side, it is a lot to real estate. So instead of charging people $2,000 to take a course and convince you can do it. Give me $2,000 and I'll teach you how to buy 10 homes. You'll find out all over social media. That's not us. I'm not going to tell you it's easy because it's not. Some of you may have full-time jobs. Some of you have careers. You have your own businesses. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be in real estate. So that's where we come in. We manage the tenants. We find the properties. We purchase them. We renovate them. We bring the value up. And depending on how much you invest, you get a return on your investment. I hope that makes sense. People have an understanding of who we are and what we do. Now, real estate right now, is an exceptional investment. If you're studying the climate of the world right now, the climate of just the economy, you see that many people are saying we're in a recession. Data shows we're in a recession. Some figures don't want to admit it. They want to say, oh, because the labor force is doing good, even though we had 2 quarters of losses, that still means it may not be a recession. Well, look at it how you look at it. The economy is not in good shape at the end of the day. Inflation is rising. And what that means is if you have your money in a bank right now and you leave it, a year from now, that money is going to be worth less than it is today. Just because if you have $100 in the bank right now, everything is going up. So milk is $5 today. By the next year, it's $8, and your $100 is still $100. So the value of it isn't as, it's not stable. So your value is losing every time you're not doing nothing with it. So investing is the smart thing to do. However, if you look at stocks, what's happening with the stock market? If you look at crypto, what's happening with crypto? I'm a big fan of blockchain technology. I really love crypto, but I don't invest in something that fluctuates so much that we don't have much control over. So I never invested in the actual cryptocurrency, although I have invested in blockchain, and I'll explain that in a second. But look at crypto. And some of you have 401ks. And if you look at your 401ks, they're dropping. And some of our clients who we worked with mentioned that their 401ks have dropped and they wish they would have put more money in real estate with us. That's what's happening. But real estate is a hedge against inflation because real estate constantly goes up. That doesn't mean it doesn't take some dips. It can weather some storms, but historically speaking, real estate is always, if you look at a graph, just on any time frame, real estate is going up. And it's just a safe investment, you know. So you have to study and listen to those who do this, you know. And there's an article that Elon Musk had an interview, and he was asked what are the top investments, physical investments, and the first one, especially during this time, the first one he said is real estate. He also mentioned art and other things, but the first one is real estate. Real estate is a smart investment. However, I don't know who may have time on their hands and $100,000 to start and patience. So that's why we opened the fund for those who want to be able to have their money safe somewhere in an investment, tangible investment like real estate, but not have the time and means to do it. So that's why we opened this. So I just wanted to give a little history of who we are, what we do, what actually is a fund. Now I will go into how it works, and then I'm gonna answer some questions. So some of you, please put your questions in the chat. I'm getting the questions, and I'm gonna answer them. Put your questions in the chat. And in the meantime, if everyone can go, if you have not yet, I'm gonna type it in here, go to oasis.build and click. Usually I have somebody helping me, but I forgot to hit somebody. So I'm doing this by myself. But if you go to oasis.build and click get started, the fund's not open yet. So we're not gonna withdraw money from your account or anything. That's just for us to add to our mailing list, get more information on our company. So go to oasis.build, click get started. And forgive me as I keep admitting people in the room. But it's going to be, you know, recorded, so whoever missed it will be able to send this to them. Also, I'll go in. Let me go into how it's going to work. So when we do launch our fund, we're going to announce it. It's going to be announced via our social media channels, via our email list. Pardon me, our mailing list, and you'll be able to invest through our app. Please go to the App Store if you have an iPhone. If you have if you have an Android, go to Google Play Store and get our app. Pre-register. We're pre-registering because we're not putting it live until we're actually launch, because you'll be able to invest through our app or website. Now, I do want to mention, this is real estate. This is a long-term investment. So we're asking everyone, if this is your last $1,000, please don't invest. If you are going to need it 2 or 3 months from now, this isn't the right investment. You know, this is for those who have money that they're sitting on. It doesn't have to be a lot. The minimum investment is $1,000, but you don't need it currently. You know, we all need our money, but you don't need to spend it today or tomorrow, and you are ready for it to grow and mature through real estate. We don't want people excited because of what we do and how we're rebuilding our communities to get their last $1,000, and then they can't pay rent that month. So try, please, you know, this is for an investment for those who want to actually invest. Because when we launch this fund, it is going to be SEC compliant, meaning we're doing everything according to federal law. We have to ask you certain questions. So when you sign up through the app, we have to ask you your name. It will do a know your customer anti-money laundering check to make sure that the money isn't laundered. So this isn't Cash App. You're not going to be able to, Zelle us the money. You know, it will be procedures and steps. We want to do this right. We want everybody to be comfortable. And this is not only for our protection, but it's for your protection. It's so you have an that's cool, I can see you. It's so you have an idea of safety and security because of how we're setting it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and answer some questions. Please, if you have a question, throw it in the chat. This is something we're gonna be doing weekly. Now, some of you, this is our public fund. I'm discussing our public fund. We have other funds. You know, we have our own personal portfolio that we're constantly building. We have some private funds. And I see some of you are part of our family who invested in our private fund. Hey, everybody. Hi, Oasis family. This Zoom is for those this is your first time. You have questions. You really want to get involved into investing. You want to know more. This is for you. So if you already, feel free to drop off. I'm just going to be answering questions. Don't want to take up people's too much time, but I do want to answer general questions. All right. First question. Since Oasis is coming out with an app, will that eliminate a lot of the paperwork that will have to go over to invest? And that's from Roderick. Physical paperwork, but there is paperwork. Now, because this is SEC compliant, we have an offering circular. Now, if you never heard that word, please write that down, and I will type it in the box. Offering circular. Now, offering circular is our prospectus. It's our business memorandum. It's everything about the investment. It's what has to be approved by the Security Exchange Commission. It's like 80 pages, and we don't want that to discourage anyone. It's standard, but in that is a lot of work. It took us months to make it, but it's our business plan. It's how we plan to operate. It's how we plan to pay out. It's who the managers are. It's what is the management fee. What is, everything you need to know will be spelled out in the offering circular. That will be released once the fund is launched. So that paperwork will be there. Now, it's not necessarily, you don't got to print it out. It will be electronic. So when you go through the app, we just recommend to everybody you read it and you have an idea of what you're investing in. And although 80 pages sounds like a lot, it's really just, it's standard. It's nothing crazy, but it really, I think, is meant to discourage a lot of us from investing. When I first seen it, I was like, dang, we got to do one of these. But as you do it, it's nothing crazy. Everyone on here has the knowledge to invest. Everyone on here has the capability to be a great investor. Warren Buffett, he may have been doing this his whole life, but he doesn't have more brain cells than you. You can do anything he's doing. So for you to invest and to look at the paperwork, it's not scary. Don't be discouraged, but you will have to receive paperwork and acknowledge that you received it, acknowledge you understand it, so you will have that. I want everybody to remember, this is not it's going to be, we're doing everything by the book when it comes to this, as far as the Security Exchange Commission and federal laws. Now, next question, is there a cutoff for the first round? No, once we launch the fund, we haven't announced a cutoff. It may be a cutoff. So you want to, if we feel that the fund, because what we want to do is ensure you all get a return, a great return. We don't want to bite off more than we can chew. So if we raise a healthy amount that we're satisfied with, we will close out the fund. So we just recommend that once we open, do your best to get the app or go to the website and sign up and don't lag behind. And I do want to also say, as I mentioned, crypto, we are going to be the first fund, and I'm excited to say this, the first Reg A fund to accept payment in crypto. And I'll tell you why. We'll do that at a later, but blockchain is special. Now, the way the Wall Street guys jumped over and are moving it up and down, I'm not a fan of that. So I'm not really investing in people, what they call whales, putting a bunch of money and moving it up and taking it and moving it out. But the technology is brilliant, and the technology of blockchain is the future. So our investment company will be using blockchain technology, but not in the standard way of how Wall Street is using it, jumping it up and down. But the technology itself is brilliant. So that answers that question. There's no, we haven't announced a cutoff date yet, but once we do announce the fund and it's live, you do want to get in as soon as you can. Someone said, if I have only 1,000 to invest now, can I increase my investment over time? Yes, via the app. If you invest 1,000, you'll be able to, when you're ready, put in another 1,000 and just kind of gradually invest that way and watch your money grow. And again, family, this is not, and I'm not saying it because we didn't really, this isn't new. This is just new for our communities. So it might sound like, hold on, what? I'll give you 1,000. That's how it works. The more money we have, the more we can buy, the more we can fix up, the more money we can make as a pot. This company's doing this, the Vanguard Group. Some of you who have 401ks, your 401k is invested in a fund that's doing this. Some of them are just invested in private prisons. So we're supporting private prisons with our check and then protesting, during the day and getting the check at night. So we're kind of like, we don't know what's going on. But these people are doing some crazy stuff with our money. The beautiful thing that we pride ourselves on is we're going to be transparent of what we do. And we're telling you right now, we are investing in our communities, underserved communities. So I said it's another way of saying, the hood, ghetto. But that's where our people are. That's where, and crazy thing is, that's where money is. We could just do it in a very appropriate way and moral way. That's what, we pride ourselves on and we're excited about. We'll move on. I'm going to answer a few more questions. What is the estimated return percentage for an investment of $1,000? So, great question. So if you invest $1,000, what do I get? That's the question. Right now, you have $1,000 in the bank. In the bank, you get less than 1%, 0.01. So you get $1,000, you may get $1 at the end of the year. It may have went up $1, maybe. Our goal, now we can't, because this is an investment, we can't guarantee anything. That's illegal. Even if our track record is 100%, we can't guarantee everything. Our goal is a preferred return of 8 to 10%. That's our minimum goal. Now, our track record, we've never done a fund with thousands of people. But when we do a fund with a few people, our track record is over 20% preferred return. That's what we're confident that we've done in the past. So when we said, hey, our goal is 8 to 10%, which is standard, which is a great return as far as if you look at the number from 0.01 to 8 to 10%. But even for a fund to do that, that's what funds strive to get. And that's our started. That's what we're trying to shoot for, a minimum. But what we want to do and how we've been successful in the past is under promise, over deliver. So if we say 8 and you get 15, who's going to complain? You know, but our goal is 8 to 10. So what does that mean? If you invest $1,000 and say we hit 10%, then that means for that year you made $100 as opposed to $1. And that's distributed quarterly. You get checks quarterly. Now, when you say 1,000, it seems like, but you know what this is? This is us building habits as a culture that we haven't had in the past. You know, the majority of it I see here is our black and brown family, because that's kind of who we appeal to. And in our communities, we spend $1.3 trillion as consumers. It's going out of our hand. On a large scale, if we invested, this is hundreds of millions of dollars and billions of dollars that would recirculate in our community. So right now it might seem small, but this is what people do to build wealth, because your 1,000 turns to 100,000. You know, as far as investing, being able to invest 100,000, and then you're profiting 10,000 a year. And then that's the money you use. So you kind of just set habits up and you slowly invest. You slowly invest and you watch it build. That's why I said those who want a quick, this isn't your cousin telling you to give you 1,000 and he'll give you 100,000 next week. That's not what this is. That's really not how life works. I'm not saying somebody can't do that. We're not that company to say give us 1,000 and we're going to give you $1 million tomorrow. Be wary of people who say that. So this is what we do as far as a preferred return. That's our minimum goal, which in the investment world is great. As far as the returns that we've got in the past, I won't speak on that now, but we've crushed that goal, which is why we're confident at an 8 to 10%. So I'll keep going. A lot of questions. Feel free to leave a question. If you heard it all, feel free to hop off. This is really a recap for those who first time here and just have questions. All right, what areas have Oasis focused on? South side or west side? Mainly in the South Shore area of Chicago. That's what we've been focusing on. We do have some properties on the west side, but in this fund that we're going to be opening, we're going to be focused on the south side of Chicago. The south side of Chicago, there's a lot of vacant properties in nice areas. You get that? Vacant properties in nice areas, meaning once you buy that property and you renovate it, it's going to be up to par with the other homes on that block. So if we found a home for $25,000, purchased it, by the time it's done, it's worth $300,000. That's amazing. Of course, you put 100 into it, 150 into it, but by the time the property's done, you've doubled the value of the home, sometimes tripled the value of the home. And that's South Shore Chicago, which is why we are really excited about that area, and that's what we've been focusing on. But the same for the west side. But with this fund, we are going to focus on the central area because we want to make an example of what can be done with Unity. We want areas that you can walk in and you feel safe walking. You feel safe with your children walking. We want to create these communities because this is stuff we've been talking about for decades. But until we actually do it, we're just talking about it. So our goal is to actually do and create some of these communities that we've been dreaming about having. How soon may I invest? Phenomenal presentation. Thank you, Brother Timothy. How soon can I invest? Will I receive dividends that can automatically be Yes. When you start receiving dividends, you can reinvest that. So if you made a profit of $3,000, you can reinvest that and keep it going, keep it growing. And at the end of the day, that seems like that's good business. But yes, thank you, sir. And we will be launching. We will be announcing when we launch. Our goal is towards the end of the summer. So we're right around the corner, which is why we're doing these lives. So we're nearly there We're going to give the announcement. In the meantime, everyone, please get the app. Go to the App Store, get the app, Google Play Store, get the app, and pre-register. With the Fed rising rates, how does this affect your strategy? Well, you know, our strategy has been South Chicago, and we didn't expect this, you know, but thankfully in the Chicago area, the prices are not fluctuating that bad. So, you know, for example, for Los Angeles, as an example, where I'm at right now, if you purchased a property maybe a year or two ago, the price now, the difference now is a big, large gap. You could have got it for $500,000. Now it's worth $700,000. What does that mean? With the Fed rates and with everything happening, there's room for it to be dropping. In Chicago, prices haven't went up that much or down. So we're not expecting a big shift at all from prices with the Fed rate. So it's really helped our strategy. On top of that, construction materials are cheaper, which is pretty much a surprise for us. So we haven't been affected too bad negatively at all with the Fed rates rising. The good thing is with the fund, I'm gonna say this, this is about to be a buyer's market because a lot of people aren't gonna have the money to purchase properties with all the inflation and interest rates. So if we have a fund together and we have a large pool of cash, we can be buying up at a cheaper rate. So this is gonna be a beneficial time for unity. You know, individually, you may not be able to go on a shopping spree and buy houses right now. But if we have a big pot of cash, this is the time to buy up our community. So thank you for that question. But everything is going to work for the good, and we see it happening right now. Besides investing our revenue, what each we do to build Oasis? Spread the word, please. You know, the more people who is aware of this movement, which is investing, but also building, that's going to just help. So spread the word. Thank you for that. I can't see the term you're describing. Oh, okay. I'll resend it. What is the timeline? Again, everyone will be announcing that shortly. So please stay in the loop. Follow, if you haven't yet, go to oasis.build, click get started, join our mailing list, follow our social media pages, because once we announce, it's gonna start, you know. So pre-register for our app. We have an app in the App Store and the Google Play Store. So pre-register. So when we launch, you're good to go. Now I'm gonna be wrapping this up because I gave the presentation. I'm answering questions. If you have questions, throw it in there. I'll stay a little longer. Feel free to, if you got what you needed, drop off, but make sure you register with the app. This is not a question. Okay, I'll come back and read it because it's long. Is Oasis expanding to other cities? Yes, we're going to be expanding to other cities, but as I mentioned, we're starting in Chicago for multiple reasons that I went through already. But we will. Yeah, we got to do this in every city. And our model is to hope that we inspire others to do the same thing. This isn't a monopoly we're trying to do. This is just our way of doing something that we've been taught and what we believe in, and is to make our communities a decent and beautiful place to live. This is how we're doing it. And if there's other ways to do it, you do it. However is in your heart for you to do it. This is just our means of doing it. And by doing it, our strategy, since people are investing, we have to make money. And we don't want to experiment. We know how to make money in Chicago. So that's where we're staying for now until we grow, and we'll see how things are. And how do we register for the app? I'll put a link in, you know what? I don't know if I have the link right now, but if you have the app, if you have an iPhone, search the App Store, Oasis Investment. Search Oasis, let me do that. Search Oasis Investments, because I don't have that's what was happening. I don't have search Oasis Investments. Boom. That's what it is. So search that, and in the App Store you'll see it. Pre-register. Again, go to oasis.build, click get started. And that will just put you on our mailing list once you answer some basic questions. But everybody, we're going to be doing this weekly. And a lot of the people who we already work with, who I've seen on here, this was really for people whose first time hearing about us, want to know more. If you have questions, I'm going to type that right here, contact@oasis.build. One of our team members will get back to you, usually within 24 hours, sooner, but at the latest 24 hours. So contact us if you have any questions, if I wasn't able to answer them directly here. But I think for the most part, I was able to, inform everybody. Some of you are still hopping on. Apologies. We're wrapping this up. But we will be doing this every week, just discussing everything. I think it's important, to have these conversations as far as investment. This is something that we have not been having. So we want to just have conversations on investment, on the economy, inflation, and people's 401ks and stocks and crypto. So this will be a place where we can just come. Soon we'll open it up for us to have conversations. But I wanted to first just introduce everybody. It's a whole new class now that we're doing a little promotion. And it's been word of mouth. There's a lot of new people who want to know about it. So we wanted to just focus on that. And see the link in the chat. Okay. And I'm going to put the link in this is, I believe, for, boom, that's for the app. My brother Farad just sent that to me. Thank you, Farad. If you have it for the Google Play Store, we'll put that too for those who have Android. But if you have an iPhone, click that link, pre-register for the app. And of course, again, go to oasis.build, click get started if you have not done that yet. But thank you guys. I think I answered all the questions. It's a few more, but again, contact@oasis.build. If you have questions, we'll answer it directly. Thank you. We'll be back next Friday and we'll dive deeper into everything. So everyone, remember, go to the website, get the app, get ready. Once we launch, you want to be able to get the app and get right to it, and we're going to build. I guess I'll close by saying the reason this is so important is to really just stop talking about the problem. And I guess that was one of our biggest inspirations, is to actually do it. We have, knowledge-wise, we know what we need to do. We need to fix our communities. We need to fix our schools. There's a new, video of a police beating someone every week, But if we owned our communities, we can police our own communities. Do you know there's Jewish communities where they have their own police force? They have their own, they monitor their own town. They have a relationship with the police officers, but they police their own neighborhoods. We've been taught this. We know we need to do it. What the part we're missing is ownership. Now, I don't have enough money to buy a city. And most of you on this probably, or all of you, don't have enough money to buy a city. But if we put our money together, we can. It's not even like a myth or like a long, it's not even hard to conceive. It's really logical and simple. By just buying the community, you have a say in the community. Whoever is the representative has to abide by that community's demands and laws, So this is the only way we're going to this is what we feel is one of the best ways to make a change, and it's to buy it. And thank goodness there were recent laws put into place that allows the people to get involved, because rich people who aren't from our communities aren't going to do it. They're going to stay slums. They're going to stay crime infested. They're going to promote crime, and us not having opportunities is going to create crime. So if we go in there and we're beautifying our communities, providing jobs, policing our communities, this is the step to, and on top of that, generating wealth. So this is all possible. Nothing's really stopping us but ourselves. So if we come together, and we're just asking you all to give us an opportunity to show you that we know what we're doing to kick this ball off. You know, as we grow together, we'll constantly make changes. We'll constantly make upgrades. But at the end of the day, we can get this thing started together. So thank you all. We appreciate those who are already part of our private funds, and we appreciate everybody. Some of our team members are on this call, but some of you who are hearing it for the first time, this is nothing new. This is nothing magical. It's nothing we made up. This is the fund that others have been using for years to create wealth. We're doing it for our communities. And we're going to prove to the world that we can do it. So we're excited to get to work. We're excited to make you all money. So when that fund does open, please be ready. Be following our pages, because once it opens, it's going to go and we're going to start getting busy. So thank you all. I'm going to wrap it up here. Any questions, again, contact at oasis.build. But thank you for hopping on, and we'll see you next week.